Hi guys, Artemis here again, bringing you another jungle video on EU West, a ranked game at just below 1200 ELO. I've been trying to climb out of what is essentially my ELO hell, but I keep winning 1, losing 2, winning 2, losing 4, that sort of thing. So I'm very up and down at the moment, but hopefully I'm going to get up and out quite shortly. Bring you a Kha'Zix jungle video this time. I picked Kha'Zix up a few weeks ago and I absolutely love him. He completely fits my jungle playstyle. Great sustain in the jungle, relatively fast clear once he's got a few levels behind him. He's quite squishy at the start, especially how I play him. Quite offensive with my runes and masteries. And his ganks are just fantastic, I absolutely love them. So we're all setting up in the river now to protect my blue. Relatively good team comp as well. I'm a bit wary of Mundo jungle because I know it's fast, and I'm pinging Darius to come down and guard my red because an invade's more than likely. But he says it's fine. I think in chat he's thinking he should stay by his tower. Doesn't need to get in the tri-bush. Doesn't need to protect my red in any way. That's absolutely fine as far as he's concerned. So we'll just see if I get invaded or not, because I mean I've pinged him well, not 100 times, but I've pinged him more than enough to come down and help me out. So setting up wolves first. I think my route always have this planned out. A lot of people I see who play jungle, certainly at this ELO, they'll take the first buff and then they have no idea. Always know where you're going to go at the start. Always know. So I'm going to take wolves, I'm going to take blue, head to wraiths, and then by the time I've done wraiths, wolves will be coming up again. I think, especially in this new jungle and with a squishy Kha'Zix, I'd rather be taking the wolves again than going down to golems. I think that's a better camp to do. So we're taking wolves here, not a problem. Get into blue, right on time more or less. And I think I might take this smiteless. Ezreal helps out a lot. I was gonna smite it. Oh no, I don't. Yeah, I use a smite because I'm getting quite low, which is absolutely fine, and that fits in perfectly with my jungle route. I wasn't gonna go for an early gank top. So everything's going a-okay. Heading over now to get the wraiths as planned, and the wraiths are there. And because I can see all the wraiths are there, I'm thinking that I'm relatively sure that I've not been invaded. I'm thinking this is fine, all my wraiths are here, continue as planned. So you see we head back to wolves. Wolves won't be up for another, I don't know, 10 seconds. Depends how long it takes you to do them, but maybe 10 seconds, yeah. But like I say, I don't mind wasting 3 or 4 seconds just waiting for those wolves to come back, if it means I'm not taking heavy beats from the golems up near top lane. Another thing as well, especially at this level, I see some junglers do it. Kha'Zix is passive when he hits his W. If you're in range of the explosion, you get healed for an amount. Absolutely fantastic, don't forget about it. So all the while looking for gank opportunities. Blue naturally in top lane pushes towards purple, so I'll be tempted to go up there for a gank, and as expected, I've lost my red buff. Oh goodness. Darius, I told you, man. I told you I was going to lose my red buff, but what can you do? So both players have taken a couple of beats here, so I'm getting in position for a gank. I'm pinging Darius to go in. He goes in and then backs off, but this is prime opportunity now. Go for the leap. I burn his flash, which a little bit of mana from the leap and I get a free flash out of it. That's fine. I wasn't expecting to just get first blood there, so you know, that's not a problem. And I've got smite now as well, so I'm going to tackle these golems because obviously I didn't get my red buff. A lot of people, when they see that their red buff's been taken or they see they've been counter-jungled, they'll go for something risky. Maybe when I saw my red buff was gone, I would have rushed down to his red and tried to take it and got enough fight down there. I don't think it's worth it. I think it's safer just to play solid, farm up in your jungle. Sure, you get a little bit behind, but as long as you just don't go to shit and don't panic and don't try anything reckless, like going into a blind jungle for a red buff you don't even know is there. No, better just play it safe and know what you're doing. So we're lining up for a gank now. What I'll say about this gank, well I think it's this gank anyway, don't be scared to use your summoners offensively. You'll get so many kills. It's just sat there on cooldown. So I burn the flash, I get behind her, I get the damages out, and Katarina manages to land the ignite. And that's first blood. So just by burning that flash and getting an offensive, I give Katarina first blood. Especially as a jungler, you're not using your summons to escape too much from fights. because you pick and choose which fights you want to get into, really. As long as you have good map awareness, so I think that was a really good gank, and she didn't even see it coming. The double gap close, and I got right in position, blocking away. She has to come around me, all the while I'm beating on her. No, I can't grumble with that. So once again, I should perhaps be looking for more gank opportunities, but since my red buff's been taken, I'm only just getting level 4, level 5. Around 5.5 minutes, so I'm just farming up solidly so that I don't fall behind. Running low on mana, so I'm going to be going back after this, I think. Yeah, just because I've still got no items, I've still not gone back. Oh no, yeah, I cancel because there's a gank going on at top. If I can maybe get up here and help save him. Right, I don't know what he's doing. He's running around in circles. But maybe if I could have gotten up there to stop that. Maybe that could have turned out better. So we go in on Mundo now. But Orianna follows. That's really good by their mid to follow when she sees that Katarina's gone wandering. Katarina stays a little bit too long, so there's plenty of CC there. With the silence, with the slows from Mundo and from Orianna. Too much CC for us to actually stay and get in the fight. So we get a bit lucky there. So we know the capabilities of our champions. We back out, we don't get too greedy, we don't overextend. I mean, it was 3v2, so there's no point staying whatsoever. No point feeding those kills. So we get out, heal up, not a problem. Build wise, I'm going to go for Wriggle's Lantern, and then depending on the situation, I might go for some offensive or some defensive shoes. I can't remember what I went for. Potentially defensive shoes. Maybe Merc's Treads. We'll see. But definitely Wriggles. I quite found I'm getting Spirit Stone on some junglers, but on Kha'Zix, and I've been told on a few other squishier AD casters, Wriggles is just better. With that ward as well for vision in your jungle, it's just a better build all round. So once again, ideally at this point, I know that blue buff's just come up, I know my red buff was taken, and since their jungler has a timer on red buff, in an ideal world, I'd be heading over and getting my Wraith warded and taking my red buff. But you know, everyone's got 20/20 hindsight, and it's just one of those things that I'll be able to do next game. Always be looking to learn something new. It's alright that my red got stolen, because I'm adapting my playstyle, and I'm learning how to deal with being a buff down all the time. Tons of pings going down on the map now. Yeah, that's Mundo coming out of my jungle. Probably with my red buff, if we have a look. Yeah, that's my red buff. So I know he's got my red buff. Ideally, like I say, I should have got it warded. But I didn't even think. But, you know, as soon as I've got Wriggles, and I mean I picked up a ward. Picked up a couple of wards actually. I check it out, it's obviously gone. But he's not left me any little minions there, which obviously means to me that he's got the timer on it. Cat goes a bit offensive there and gets the kill, so she's got my red buff now, so that's absolutely fine. Garen comes in, gets nothing out of it. Silences a minion. I suppose that's this ELO. So I'm heading into his jungle to see if his red buff's there. But clearly it's not. This guy, he's really on top of his buffs. I don't know about his ganks and the rest of his jungle clear and his objective control, but his buffs, I can't say anything about that. I get offensive here, push them back to their tower. Just because the rest of the lanes were pushing and I've cleared my jungle relatively well. So good to apply some pressure in other places. Just make sure that make sure that bot lane's getting ahead a little bit, that they're not forced to their tower. This is one of those games, I'll just give a disclaimer now, this is one of those games where I don't get a million kills. I'm not going to carry the entire game 10 for 0 style. This is one of those games, I should say, where you're always in the wrong place at the wrong time. You're always at blue when you should be at red. You're always in top lane, pushing down a tower when you should be in the team fight. And a lot of junglers, especially at this ELO I think, they struggle to know what to do when they're out of position. So if you're miles away from the fight, you still need to be taking objectives, putting pressure, and trying to get your team ahead. I mean, that's the jungler's job when all said and done, is to get your team ahead. Be it in laning phase, be it in objectives like Baron and Dragon, always get ahead. So Nunu comes out to ward now. I missed my skill shot, but I don't think he gets to land his ward just yet. We get into position as well. Cat getting a little bit offensive. But once again, I'm turned. That would have been if I'd stayed and he burnt his flash for nothing. That would have been like a perfect opportunity. So his red buffs come up, but he's spot on with his timers, like I've said. And I don't want to fight on my own in his jungle. Cat comes in with all the bot lane, so I flash out. It's not good that Cat dies, but at the end of the day, even as a jungler, I'm not gonna stay. I'm not gonna stay so that they get 2 kills instead of 1. There's nothing I could do there. Best to play conservatively, solid defensive play in that position. She shouldn't even have run up to me really, considering I was getting taken by 2 people and she was getting taken by 2. But wrong place, wrong time, like I say in this game. So you've got to know how to push advantages and how to stop them getting ahead. I hit level 6 and the first skill I've evolved is Spike Racks, the W. Just because my sustain's going to increase in jungle. It's really good for ganks with that AoE. Well, I say AoE, it's a cone shaped slow, which is fantastic. And AoE damage from the jungling as well. It's just great. There we go, all that damage. We're falling a little bit behind now. Unfortunately, I mean, we're still at the gold advantage, we still at kill advantage, but we went from being a few kills up to just being 1 kill ahead. And our cat's just fed a kill, our support's just fed a kill, so you gotta be really careful. At any point this could get thrown either way, especially at this ELO. Who knows what will happen. So yeah, level 6 at 11 minutes is absolutely pathetic. I'd be my first to put my hands up and admit that. Coming in for a counter gank now, pop the ult. Unfortunately, our Darius said that this Garen was trash and that our Darius was a really good player, but he's just feeding kills. This Garen I think gets like 4 and 1, something like that. It's quite silly. Cat goes deep, gets the kill, fantastic. And we get out, not a problem. Yeah, I think this Cat really carries the game. She does an awful lot of work roaming. She abandons the lane a little bit. This Orianna pushes quite hard, but not a problem because she's getting kills and she's getting ahead. So if I can keep her ahead and keep the other lanes from feeding too much, it should be shaping up quite nicely. So yeah, build wise, going for those Merc treads, just because of the Orianna slows, the Nunu slows, the Mundo, so they've all got slows at the end of the day. So I really want to capitalise on the tenacity, because if I get focused, I am just a dead man. I'm a very squishy champ in the jungle here. So this time, I know my red buff's up, we've got the timer, I've got a ward on it, and I know Mundo's got the timer as well, so we know he's here, we know he's lining up for it. Darius, offensive flash, that's really good. I was trying to get in position to dive over that wall, and unfortunately I just couldn't do it. I wanted to get really close to the wall, because I've not evolved my leap yet, so I have to be really close to the wall to jump over, and I couldn't get him to get close enough. So I take my buff instead. I don't need to chase the kill, I've got my buff. First red buff this game. So there we go. See if his ult hits. I think it does. I think he gets quite lucky. Look at that. So she's gonna die for that. After the investment from Ezreal, why not? Goodness. Yeah, this bot lane they're panicking and they're going to hell now. This is horrible. They were doing so well, but now I don't know. But they've got very few wards down. They've got yeah, 1 ward. So I'm going to give them a little bit more vision down here, and I'm going to head up to my blue. So yeah, like I said, that Mundo, he got the first 2 red buffs, and since he hadn't a timer, he must have thought he was doing a great job of coming in again and again and again and taking it, and he must have thought that I wouldn't cotton on. So obviously, instead of going to my blue that time, we were straight down, we had it warded, and he got himself killed and gave me my red buff back. So, I mean, his play, the first time I sort of saw it coming, but Darius won't go down to help and guard red, but we've got his number now. Ideally I'd be doing a lot more counter jungling, but I'm just trying to get these lanes ahead. I'm trying to go for a couple more ganks and push some objectives. I'm relatively sure they get ahead of the Mundo anyway. Yeah, he's got no kills and 2 deaths. And granted I've got no kills, but I haven't died and I've got my assists as well, so that's fine. Waiting for Orianna now. Her tower's quite low, so always looking for objectives to push. If we can take the tower, that'd be fantastic. If I can come top for a gank, that's fantastic. Yeah, we see Orianna there, so I'm just heading over to her blue because I can see that she's not got blue on her, but it's not up yet. Worth a quick look. Oh my goodness, this Vayne, I think she's doing the work in bottom lane. She's a little bit low, but she's doing the rounds. So yeah, Cat's gonna go down there. Probably get followed by Orianna and or Mundo. Ezreal just not even assisting. At this elo, who needs map awareness, eh? Pops his ult for a little kill steal there, but misses. So, just to make sure that we don't get behind in mid, I'm going to push down this tower, or at least give pushing this tower down a go, but Orianna comes back. She roamed to bot lane, she didn't get there in time, and so she had to come back. Once again, this is a very farm heavy, just because I fell behind with those, like it's 16 minutes and I'm level 8 just from losing those 2 red buffs and not being able to take any of his and having no kills yet, which is absolutely horrendous. I'll hold my hands up. So hopefully this is a commentary that shows how to get back into a game when you're falling this far behind, because it's possible. People say, oh, you've fallen behind, you need to get really aggressive and go into their jungle and counter jungle and just gank. I disagree. Farm up, play it safe. If you're weaker than them, don't go aggressive and engage on them. No. Just play solid and consistently. I have faith in this Katarina that she's going to be able to carry these lanes while I catch up, while I get into position to be able to carry. This Ezreal should really come out now. Burns a flash, that's fine. He's overstayed his welcome, I guess, and now we're grouping quite well. And we're descending on this this Vayne who's gotten a little bit fed. We've all come down. Garen's pushing top, but I don't really mind because we're going to take bot tower anyway. Vayne comes back to help. I think she gets away alive, only just, but I mean, quite lucky. I don't think she should have come back there. The tower was lost and so was the teammate. Best to have gone back. Orianna's missing from mid now. Good chance that she might come down, but she knows that we're all here, so perhaps not. In his jungle, checking his red, still not up. So I get some vision. We lose our turret, but Darius is already heading on his way up to sort out that Garen. So yeah, I'm just trying to get ahead. Normally I'd be taking my jungle creeps, but I'll take any last hits I can get really, just to catch up in levels. And while Orianna's away, I'm going to be taking this tower down. It's 150 gold for me and for the rest of the team. And the minute this tower's gone as well, it's a lot easier for me to get into his jungle, to counter jungle him, to make some plays and some ganks through their jungle. So, really good to win mid. As a jungler, it gets both your mid lane and your jungler ahead. Everyone's starting to group in mid now. So for Darius, this would be a perfect chance to knock over that tower. Just go absolutely to town on it. There's no team fight that big fat slow Darius is going to get into down here. So why he's roaming all the way down when he could be taking towers for gold? Taking objectives and things, I don't know. There's a very good chance that I die here for doing something reckless. Yeah, I go into their jungle on my own. The rest of the team's stacking up. I pop my ult. I really want to pick off this Orianna, but I can't get into position. Obviously we've got vision, and those 3 fat tanky CC characters are just sat waiting for me to make a play. So instead I'm heading down. Dragon's still there. At this elo especially, 20 minutes in, Dragon's not warded. No one's taking it though, it's still there. Gracious. I mean, I know really I should have soloed Dragon either by now or next level, something like that. But once again, like, this is why I say it's this sort of game. I should be in mid. I should be helping out and getting these kills and things. But I'm just wrong place, wrong time. And one of the things I've learned as well. Is with Baron up, with Dragon up, I should not be farming bot lane. Just in case someone goes to start Baron or start Dragon, I need to be in position to steal it if they begin it, or to finish it if our team begin. So that's really poor from me. I shouldn't be down there. But you know, hindsight's a bitch like that. Should be helping out in mid lane. See my blue buffs up. I'm quite selfish. But I mean, the tower's on full health. The lane's pushing. 2 guys there. that shouldn't be an issue. There's the knock up. So yeah, I take my blue buff instead. The beauty of having this Orion, this Katarina in mid, absolutely love it. All these blue buffs for me. Level 11, I'm evolving wings. I need a lot more mobility if I'm going to get in and kill the Oriana and kill their carry. So spike racks first, then I'm going for wings. I love the leap, and with it refreshing on cooldown, I'll be a lot more useful in team fights. I'll have a lot more mobility in the jungle. Just absolutely fantastic. There we go. So here's Mundo again. I see him. What an idiot. Chance in his arm. Drops a ward. He's coming on half health and he's isolated, so I'm more than happy to punish him for this. And that's Mundo gone. So, a word to junglers. Don't just go blindly and take someone's buff. You need vision. I mean, I know he dropped a ward in that bush, but I mean, you've got to have vision. You've got to know what you're doing. And he didn't have good map awareness there to see that we were all descending on him. So this is an opportunity for our team. If we can just group up properly. Or if Darius can engage. Problem is, I don't know if Darius is a big fan of engaging. I don't know where he's going here. But the team fight's going on. Or at least a little bit of poke back and forth. There we go. He's trying to get into a position here, fair enough. But he's split from the rest of the team. If he can hook someone out, that would be fantastic. If he can hook that Garen out maybe. Or that Nunu. There we go, hooks out the Nunu. And we go very offensive very quickly. I fall back a little bit. Just because that Vayne's popped a roll. And until that wears off, yeah, there's not a lot we can do. That was a relatively bad team fight for us, and Mundo's back up now as well, so we have to be really careful of going too offensive. I was recalling, but I cancel my recall now just to help my team out. Go a little bit offensive. Not the best team fight for us, not the best trade. Just the initiate onto Nunu wasn't fantastic, and it was right under their tower. Ideally, I would have split off and maybe split push. Applied pressure elsewhere, or just retreated from that. I wasn't a big fan of it. Luckily, these two aren't overstaying their welcome. They know that the opponent's gone back, so possibly they could have gone and pushed that tower a bit, but I wouldn't advise it, no. I think going back, getting full health, getting full mana, just ready for another team fight, because it's got to that stage, is a fantastic strategy. Not too sure what Nomi's doing. Helping mid to push, I guess, but we've got very little vision here. We've got one ward down. So maybe she needs to get some more wards down. Certainly at Dragon, that's not warded. Baron's not warded, so as a support, she's missed a couple of objectives that really we could do with prioritising. Once again, you see, this is me out of position, thinking that everyone will stay mid and I can push top. So a team fight breaks out, and I feel very confident that our Katarina can help carry that. So I'm not going to rush all the way down there and try and help out and clear up and kill steal at the very end. I'm going to push a different objective. No point running all the way down river, all the way to the other end of the map, if I can earn us some gold elsewhere when we've clearly won that team fight. I mean, I wasn't just blindly taking top tower, ignoring the team. I looked at the engagement, I saw us get first blood, we were all full health. Absolutely beasting that little team fight in the jungle, so why not? Leave them to it, take objectives. So everyone's still occupied down here. Their team are either occupied or dead. And our team are just absolutely nuking. I don't need to be there, I don't think. So I just keep going to town on this tower. Taking objectives as much as I can. I seem to find as well, a lot of junglers, we get to this stage in the game, all the buffs are gone from the jungles, we've got a little bit of vision but not much, and laning phase is just definitely over, and a lot of junglers think, well, what do I do now? And you sort of have to know, I guess, when to go for team fights, when to secure objectives, when to split push, when to be congregating on Dragon. I mean, ideally I'd be congregating on Dragon, but with so many of them dead, taking towers is just not even an issue. If we can take towers, then we can definitely take Dragons and Barons. So it depends what the team fancies. Their late game is really strong, I think. That Mundo's just going to get tankier and tankier, that Garen's just become bigger and bigger. So if we can win in the mid game, where we have an advantage, especially with a relatively strong Kha'Zix jungle now, because I've managed to catch everyone else up, I've fed Katarina, the sooner we can win and push towers instead of dragons, I think, the better for us. So I'm continuing to split push here, just because especially at this ELO, it's a strong strategy, and it just keeps their team stuck in their base. Their team can't push out and take objectives because I'm hassling this tower all the time. I leave now. I'm not going to fight that Amumu. I've suffered a bit of damage, and Oriana's gone missing as well, so just that bit of map awareness, knowing to back out. I've got my wriggles. I'm just building, took out my build, I'm building Black Cleaver. This could be my first death, I think. Yeah, I show up at their blue buff, fancying myself a little bit. And I go for the steal. Yeah, this is definitely my first death. I have wards. I drop a ward here, I see it's on so much health, and I'm going to go for a steal, hopefully. And it absolutely backfires. I mistime it a little bit. I don't expect Vayne to show, and that was just really poor by me. I hold my hands up. I knew as soon as I did it that backfired, but I didn't want Oriana to get that blue buff. So that's a free death from me, which is poor. But I mean, sometimes you just get these games. I don't... Obviously I know that Katarina's carrying this. I can see that she's carrying this. That's a good ult by Nami. I know that Katarina's carrying this, so I just want to be as competent as possible and make myself easy to carry. Make sure that I'm doing something for the team. Even if I'm not much use in team fights, I'm still squishy. As long as I'm split pushing, warding a little bit more, taking objectives, I'm still helping the team out. I'm not dead weight, and that's important. Sometimes you fall behind. The last thing you want to do is become dead weight. This Garen's got really greedy for a kill and split off from his team. You see that a lot at this ELO. People just go balls deep. And, you know, there was just no point for him to do that. And the rest of his team have followed him to try and help out. Absolutely useless. But yeah, once again, after that death, wrong place, wrong time. I'm too far away from this fight. So I'm just doing my farming, taking my buffs, trying to just keep up with everyone else. You know, sometimes you just have one of these games. So I've got a few other Kha'Zix videos that I can put up that show some fantastic ganks and some fantastic things that you can do with this kit. But this is one of those games to say, if you're playing a squishy jungler, if you're falling behind, you know, it's not the end of the world. You're not dead weight. There are other things you can do if you can't get into team fights all the time. Making sure the lanes are pushed, taking the towers, earning the gold for your team, getting the wards down. Not a problem. Yeah, I figured Ez would be fine with his flash and his blink, so I'm just hassling this tower some more. Everyone's getting kill hungry in the jungle, so there's no way that I can really fight all of that. Not with a dead Nami. So I take the tower, I get a slow off. Ezreal stays. I think he kills this Nunu. Yeah, Nunu gets a bit greedy, and his team weren't there to back him up. We know Vayne's around as well still, and Oriana's just come out, so now's a good time to leave. Drop a ward just to see if Vayne was in there. Didn't want to just face check it, and there's Vayne. Shows up just behind, so we get out of there. So we take a tower, we take a couple of kills, we get that greedy Nunu. Things like that, they go in our favour. I wasn't too much use in team fights, so I've taken a tower, got even more assists, helped out, made sure that our Rez got out alive. Still, Dragon's not warded, I'm relatively sure it's still up. I jump onto that Oriana, make a burner flash, give her slow. Just trying to help get the kill for our Katarina. I've got no mana here, this is the problem with being an AD caster, I haven't got a blue buff. So I'm running very low on mana. Finally my chance to counter jungle his red buff away from him. Try and break even on the old red buffs this game. Garen again, going balls deep. 2-on-1, no vision. Very brave. I don't even think he's going to get anything out of this, no. That's just so poor. Always know the capabilities of your champion. There's no point just splitting off from your team in hopes of a kill on a squishy champ. Oh goodness, there we go. No point just chasing kills like that, because you're not helping your team out. That was awful, I think, by Katarina. I expected a little bit more from, after seeing her so fed and seeing her carry, I didn't think she'd initiate on 4 people like that, so we get chased back. Once again, wrong place, wrong time. Just one of those games, I'm just falling way out of being in team fights and things. But I've got my Black Cleaver now and I've built a Phage as well, so I'm a bit tankier and I can help. I don't really want to initiate team fights, but this Darius isn't doing a good job of it, and someone has to, so I'm trying to get a little bit tankier, just to help the team out. I know that I'm not our source of damage this game, so I'm adapting my build. I'm getting more wards down and I'm getting tanky. I'm essentially playing like an off support, if there is such a thing. AD caster off support, new build for Kha'Zix, you heard it here first. Just waiting on the Ezreal to come in, just waiting on the Katarina. Maybe we can force a fight a dragon here, I don't know. Ezreal takes some of that farm. Oh, I'd prefer to have it, but whatever. I think he's taking blue buff as well. Yeah, ideally I'd have that blue buff, not him. Just because I'm an AD caster and he isn't, but you know, he's doing more damage than I'm in team fights, he's contributing more. I don't mind. Ideally we should drag this dragon out, but we can see that they've descended on us here. But we got Katarina and Darius coming in from the other side, so it's almost like a pincer movement. Yeah, that Nunu's got split off. I jump into the fight like that. I pop my ult and I get out. Like I say, we need an initiate, and because of Kha'Zix's ability to jump in and jump out like that, there we go. It's not a nightmare for him to initiate, because you can jump in like that, pop your ult and you can't be targeted by anything, flash out, leap out again if you want, or if you get an assist and you've evolved the wings. I think that's a really good initiate for us, because Darius obviously isn't gonna just run in, so we need some initiate here. Now, I told people to try and take towers and try and take inhibs, and they just descend on the inner towers, which is fine, not the end of the world. This is really good by them, but I'm pretty sure this isn't the end of the game. No, because Nunu's just come up, and I think they overstay their welcome a little bit here. I can't remember. Yeah, everyone comes out and they just can't finish it. Unfortunate, really. So close to a win there. I'm back in top once again. Wrong place, wrong time, out of position. I hit level 16. Yeah, they overstayed their welcome. Like I say, if they'd taken another inhib, we'd have them pinned in their base. But taking both inner towers is fantastic as well. Hit level 16. I've taken the camouflage, the ultimate evolution. Just so that I can pop it 3 times, it gives me a little bit more mobility, more invisibility, so that I have better engages. In terms of jumping in and escaping, so I'm still quite squishy. I'm coming down to see if there's any plays to make, or try and keep them contained in their base, because the last thing we want is for them to push out of their base, now that they're dealing with super minions. Dragon's still up, could be a chance to take dragon. You see that a lot this ELO, 33 minutes in, no dragons. Trust me if you're watching, I know, but just one of those games, wrong place, wrong time. See Garen coming down here. I'm pretty confident I can trade with him because he's quite trash and take the kill. I say quite trash. He was 4-1 and now he's 4-5, so he's done nothing in the past 20 minutes really other than just feed kills, which is fine. 34 minutes in, he's got 67 farms, so I'm quite happy to trade with him. I know I'm going to win. Just because, I mean, I've got 200 farm, I've got best farm in the game actually, just by fell behind, so I made a concerted effort to get ahead, and now that we've hit mid to late game, we can see that I have. Ezreal going for a cheeky blue steal here. He's not having it. That was absolutely filth. But Ezreal players, I don't know, they think they're God's gift. They want everything in the game. That Nami ult just trying to save them. But in I come. I shouldn't really engage here. Yeah, I know I shouldn't engage because they have the advantage, so I just back out. That's really good by Darius just to take out that carry. And now the fight is going in our favour. I run back in to try and help Darius. He's taking a lot of damage. This Mundo comes in. I'm hoping Ezreal can clean up here because he's a little bit fed. Yeah, this is fine. Not the best engage for us, but certainly not the worst. Bot lane's pushed really hard as well, which is just fantastic. I absolutely love it when minions help you out. Absolutely love it to see minions helping there. So once again, this Garion fancies his chances on two extremely fed champs. Just certainly at this ELO, people just too balls deep, too greedy. If he played safely and conservatively and didn't feed 6 kills, he'd be playing a much harder game for us to win. I mean, he'd have a real advantage. Katarina fighting the Nexus now. Should say trying to take this Nexus, but she's on her own here. And as much as she's fed, she's not fed enough to take on 3 champs on her own. She's just trying to force a win, and that could be really dangerous. If you just try and force a win like that, you can start feeding kills, and I mean, even at this point, it's throwable. Fair enough, they've got 1 tower. Fair enough, we've got 12k gold advantage and 10 towers on them. But you know, even at this ELO, who knows what'll happen? We could have 4-man disconnect at this ELO. So, always good to keep with your team and just go for a solid win. Just getting vision in their base. I'm getting tankier and tankier. I've finished the frozen mallet now. We're waiting on Katarina to come back up. She's up in 10 seconds. But yeah, just trying to keep them contained in their base. I sent Ezreal top. I know he can deal with that with the Garen if he wants. There's no doubt that he can deal with that Garen if he wants. And I've come in now as well. So while everyone's busy in bot lane, we're taking 3 kills. We're going to try and take out this inhibitor. Or try and get their attention. While mid lane just pushes straight into the base. Split pushing at this point. There's not a lot their team can do. They are well and truly contained. Now they've got that inhib back though, we can't target their Nexus. Nightmare for us. Katarina comes down. I'm just trying to get out of this, but I come back knowing that Kat's here. And I think I leave them, yeah, just leave them on a merry goose chase. Off we go. Ezreal, fantastic, takes out Garen like I said he would. Ideally I want to go back with half health, half mana, but maybe there's still plays to be made. I'm certainly not useless in this state. For all of Mundo's work, I mean, skins don't mean wins here. He's got his corporate Mundo skin on, but he's fallen 2 levels behind, even with all that counter jungling. So like I say, if you get counter jungled like that, you don't always have to go for the reckless plays. You don't always have to throw the game. By going into a red buff and stealing from them because they took yours. Just farm up, play safely, take what objectives you can, you're going to get ahead. Don't feed kills. I mean, I might only have 1 kill, but I've got 12 assists and I've taken out enough towers and helped secure enough objectives to have made myself useful in this game. I can see that they're going on Katarina now, so I go and try and help her. Too little too late, I think. Oh no, I sacrificed myself so that she can live. They focused me for some reason. I knew that she was our damage. She's raging at me in chat here for feeding a kill, but if I hadn't gone in and distracted them and just made myself a nice easy target, she'd be dead. And I know that she's more use in a team fight and she's worth more gold than what I am. So sometimes you've got to play Jesus. You've got to just sacrifice yourself for the greater good. Better to have Katarina alive, fed, worth all that gold, than to have me alive who's just warding and playing tanky. So we're a bit split now, we're all in base. We should be finishing this game. Yeah, the timer for me says we finish in a couple of minutes. I know that Darius is raging here. He knows just like I do that the longer this goes, the closer and closer it becomes. Like, yeah, we're losing our gold advantage a little bit now, down to 11k, and obviously the longer the game goes, the worse that gold advantage is going to look for us. So Darius is raging in chat, he wants this to end, and I agree with him. I'm not going to rage in chat as well, but I agree that ending's a good idea. God knows where I am on the screen. Oh, I'm just coming up after sacrificing myself. Ezreal's just trolling. I remember in team select he was saying he didn't want to play support, and if he had to play support he'd troll. So someone else luckily took support, but he's still got a little bit of troll in him. Darius wants to end, he's saying I'll take dragon. I don't know, I disagree with that dragon. It's the first dragon in the game for 40 minutes, that's the ELO I play at. Some people will say, well, it's jungler's job to take dragon. But one of those games, mate, wrong place, wrong time. Just been trying to make the best of bad situations all game. So I went on a Katarina to come in. Everyone else has descended into mid. We're ready to end this. We just need one good team fight. I think Vayne's just popped her ult, yeah. Wasted really, because she's not started a fight. And we're all here now. I already know how this is shaping up. I'm probably going to die, because I'm going to have to initiate a fight here. But I have faith in my team that they can finish if I die. We've got vision in here, so this is a good place to fight for us. There we go, there's Darius descending into the fight. And I'm ready just to sacrifice myself, diving into the middle of it, forcing the fight, pop my ult, try and get out. I get nuked. But here we go, everyone's relatively low, Katarina pops a good ult, and here comes the dunks. It's time for Darius to clean up. Our Ezreal, fantastic positioning. I don't know if I caught it in the video, but all fight, fantastic. And as long as that Ezreal's alive, that's all that matters. Not the best engage from me, basically sacrificed myself to force a fight. But I knew that our team were going to win a team fight even without me. We have all game. He's taking... I noticed Ezreal's just getting ready to troll here, because Darius has been raging in chat so hard. So he's going for fights now. We could just win. Their team's ace now. Darius dies. I don't know if it was an ignite or a minion hit him. But just to end the game, this Ezreal pops his laugh, just starts fighting minions. This ELO, man. I think this is the nicest troll I've seen. And there we go, he ends. After just trolling that Darius a bit. So I hope you like the commentary. I know it's not the best commentary to show getting tons of kills and getting loads of ganks and playing a strong, solid jungle. But sometimes you just, all game, you're just out of it and you're wrong place, wrong time. And hopefully this video just shows that it's not the end of the world. You can get back into it. You can farm up consistently. You can take objectives still. Heck, you can get tankly and sacrifice yourself for the greater good of your team there. So hopefully you like the video. Obviously tips and suggestions would be fantastic. I don't always play Kha'Zix like this, don't worry. Don't be raging about the build and about the poor ganks and the no kills. But at the end of the day we won. So I know I was carried a bit, but it's not the end of the world. So yeah, tips and suggestions are fantastic. Thanks guys. I'll do another video soon, maybe some Hecarim jungle, or maybe another Kha'Zix where I don't play absolutely horrendously. Cheers for that.